Hello and welcome to the CITE View on Asake Online. My name is Leslie Moy. In today's program, we're joined by an organization that is assisting vulnerable girls in our communities who are facing painful ordeals. I'm joined by two members from the Good Shepherd Girls organization, which is a registered PVO operating here in Zimbabwe. Let me welcome Mamu Begazela Danisa, who is the director of the organization, as well as Sister Catherine Marimbo, who is the programs director. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good morning.
Good morning, viewers.
Okay, let's start from the top. Maybe tell us in brief about the organization, what motivated you to set up this initiative.
What really moved us it was staying at a mission, at a boarding school where there are young girls, also the community around, and we have been operating from Gokwe South, where there is originally our church, and there are also girls there. So we had a lot of stories coming out, young girls thinking about the girl child. These girls, some of them were raped, and the cases were not even said out, So when we saw that increase, we really thought that we should sit down and do something about the girl child, to protect the girl child.
And how many members are we talking about in the organization? Maybe just a brief profile in terms of, obviously there was an idea, then people came together.
Yes.
And then they set up the organization. Yes.
Currently, there are about 8 of us. Some of us are out there. We have the director, we have the programs director here with us. We're supposed to have a finance director who is not in place right now. But because of funding, there is no one who we can employ. But from the mission, we're working with other sisters who are helping us with the finances. We also need the secretary to capture a lot of our things, like the CEO. We don't have that person. So we really need structures. We need a car, we need a driver to ferry us around. So those are the gaps.
All right. Maybe we will talk more about the issues of funding later on in our discussion. But maybe let's focus on the issues that obviously made you start the organization. What are these issues that you're coming across? You did touch on maybe a bit about abuse. Maybe what are the issues that you really concerned you that made you want to start this organization?
Well, as we're working in Matabeleland, we have noticed that in the rural areas, most of the people, they relocate to South Africa for green pastures. And when they're in South Africa, most of them, they don't have qualifications which make them to qualify for jobs, for better jobs. So they intend to have different jobs. Some, they work in bars, and they have children that side. They post the children to the grandmothers. Whilst living with the grandmothers, they are not in a position to send them to school. This makes them to engage themselves in drug abuse. Some, especially girls, they will have early pregnancies. So this made us to come up with an idea to initiate this organization. And some, they don't have transport, and they were facing a problem of reporting to police when they are abused, especially rape abuses, sexual abuse. They faced transport challenge. In facing transport challenge, they can't reach the police station. That's where we are coming in. Some, they're afraid to report the cases due to some cultures. For example, they believe it's not a good culture, the elders, to report a rape case to police just because they want to have peace with neighbors. Yet they are not seeing far where we are seeing where the child is going when she grows up. Some of the STIs, they disturb to bear a child. So these things made us to have an idea to advocate for the girls and to help them how to report to police.
It's very sensitive issues that you're dealing with. Did you maybe also maybe undergo some training, because obviously you would need some sort of training in terms of how to handle these cases?
Very little trainings we've attended. Like there are other organizations like World Vision, ATRA. This is where we got a chance to be trained on GBV, HIV.
Also in counseling, I did counseling, and we are working also with CITE, Zimbabwe Association of Hospital-related, where they are providing some of counseling. They have got lawyers, we don't have lawyers, but we refer to the lawyers. Also for medical help, we refer to Nyamandlovu, and we are also working with police.
You did highlight that some, because of certain cultures and beliefs, people tend to want to hide some of these cases that happen, especially within families. How difficult is that, especially involving family members where a child is abused by a family member, whether an uncle, a father, or even a neighbor? But how difficult is that, especially when there are family members who don't want such cases to be attended to?
This is a sensitive issue, and it's a sacrificial work whereby we sacrifice to work. Some of them, they even get to extent of plotting to kill you. But just because we are working with other organizations and with police, we report to police. We don't go there alone. It's a team. We go with social warfare. We go with Z-therapy, friendly unit department. Also, we engage the community leaders when we're approaching the rural areas. Before we get there, we have to notify the community leader who is present.
Have you handled such cases, and how did you manage maybe to solve some of them?
Yes, we have managed to solve some of the cases, and we have done a lot of cases whereby a child going to school being abused at home by a relative. I think in some of the schools, not to mention the schools for the protection of the child, we managed to get some cases. And after an awareness campaign, that's when we get these cases. We go to school. For example, we had one last term whereby we engaged the social welfare and the school itself, Interact Club. After the campaign, we got cases from the children who were being abused. Firstly, we had to counsel those children, giving counseling, then report to friendly unit, Nyamandlovu, Z-therapy. They helped us. Also, Zach. Then we were a team, and we approached the parents, and the case was done properly. and the victimizer is behind bars. But it is very, very difficult to convince them. And we have got one hanging from Binga, whereby a child came to school having an SIT. Also, we managed to talk to that child. She revealed what happened, but the parents, they are not coming forth, and it's now in the hands of police. They are the ones who is now working towards that.
We have been seeing, especially in the newspapers, a lot of cases where schools, such cases are coming out of schools, and some may be involving even teachers or involving people of authority. How challenging, especially when maybe, let's say, for instance, teachers are involved, and the child will be scared to maybe what forms of maybe more of an educational way of reaching out to the kids. How can they reach out to someone that they can trust, especially maybe if it involves someone who's older than them, whether a teacher or someone of authority? How best can they report some of these issues?
I'm sure nowadays the children are aware that at schools, if anything happens, they must report. I've forgotten the organization where there's a toll-free number. Where child protection, Childline.
Childline.
Yes, they have a toll-free number where they are supposed to call, and they are supposed to go and report to the police. Besides their parents, they are supposed to go and report cases.
You work mostly in rural communities. I'm sure maybe issues of transport, communication, phones, I would say a big challenge, access to these technologies. But how can these children, especially those who are facing abuse, what other ways can they use to maybe to report, to alert authorities in terms of what is happening?
We need a very organized rural setup where the local leadership should take up these cases. Even all village community mothers labana kumele ukuthi bakwanise ukuthi ama-cases lawa bawahambise bawanyenyeze kube lo muntu ohambisayo kupolice angaze afihle. I think that will be the best.
To add on that, I think as an organization, we have started communicating with the leaders, rural leaders, and there is a great gap in the rural areas whereby knowledge is still not enough, so awareness campaigns are needed to equip them with knowledge to report. At schools, now they have got guidance and counselling lessons whereby they are being taught also what to do. And we intend to open clubs in schools, awareness clubs, whereby the children are being taught, and they will be taught how to report and what is an abuse. Also their rights, as we are after the rights of the children. Most of the children, they are being suppressed in the rural areas. To give an example, Kuripangozi Enapis is still there, and we once have a case and we managed to overcome it. We solved it amicably.
So the girl will be then taken to the other family as a form of appeasement.
Yes, she'll be taken there. Giving an example, a 70-year-old being HIV positive, being given a child who is 13, and you can see the gap of the age. And the child, it might be she's not positive. She has got her own rights, and we have to observe her rights, and we have to protect her rights. That's where we are coming to know this is wrong. Let's do this. Give the girl child a chance, and she can choose what she wants in life.
And then also, do you have cases where maybe you have been, you now you have to move the child, especially from a home where they feel they are not secure, where maybe you feel the abuse might still continue? Have you had cases where you have to maybe relocate them to maybe other relatives, or to place them somewhere where they are safe?
Yes. To give an example, just 3 weeks ago, we had a case whereby a child who was in grade 3, that's 3 years ago, the parents have separated when he was only a month. Only a surprise, the father came back whilst the child was now in grade 3. He had to steal the child and move to Botswana with the child. Then esefikile Botswana, he had another wife in Botswana. It might be a girlfriend, I'm not sure, but he was staying with somebody whom wabuyalayo uzothatha umntwana lona. Then this stepmother was living with a step-gogo who was a stepmother. They had to take the child from Botswana, then leave the child in Plumtree to step-gogo. Step-gogo relocated the child to Philabusi. And the child in Philabusi, he was being abused, watering 13 beds of sweet potatoes, fetching firewood, pushing wheelbarrows of water, and the neighbors saw that. So we have that, and we managed to help that child through social welfare, and we handed the child 2 weeks ago to the mother. And now he is in safe hands, and we have organized for the child to go back to school.
And then also maybe looking at the work that you do, maybe are there plans maybe to set up your own structures where you'll be able to take care of some of these vulnerable children who maybe need maybe a place to stay, or a home where there will be peace?
Yes, from the land that we've been given at St. James, there's already a borehole. So we're intending to build a very big structure, even a school by the side, so that those children who are going to come and stay there, they can also get education.
To add on that, we want to build a halfway home, but we have got lack of funds. A halfway home, we intend to provide skills, training skills for the child. We don't want to help the child in counseling and in a case and live here like that. But we want to get to a position whereby we are giving hope to the child that yes, you were raped, but life is still there. There is hope in life. And she should be engaged in a project which is an income generating. So at that place, we'll be giving a lot of things. Counseling, that's also my life skills, gardening, poultry, etc. So right now we want to thank the government, especially the president of this country, His Excellency President E.D. Mnangagwa. He donated a borehole to the land which we were given by the government, and the borehole is functioning. Also in Sailorjack 1, where our land is, They had no water for 21 years. They were fetching water 1.5 kilometers. Now they are beneficiaries of the borehole. Their taps, we have given them, we have allocated them taps whereby they are fetching water. And we are saying this was endangering a girl child because the girls are mostly the ones who are sent to do course at home. So they are the ones who are moving 1.5 kilometers helping the mothers in fetching water. So now they've been released, they are fetching water nearer, and we have protected them from traveling far, whereby they could meet abusers on their way.
Just a minute. From what she has been saying, for the income generating projects, already we have a poultry project where we're keeping broilers, and we also have layers, and we have a small garden where we're growing a few vegetables. Sometimes we supply them here in town.
So these funds are the ones that are also helping you to do some of the
Using
cases.
these funds to travel up and down during registration, even attending some of the cases.
You spoke about the issue of funding, how also it is hindering some of the work that you're doing, and also spoke about the big project that you want to undertake of building a halfway home, especially for the vulnerable children. Maybe there's someone here who's watching this program who may want to assist. How can they reach out to you, maybe in terms of contact details, in case they would want to come in and also assist in terms of funding?
Well, our stand is stand number 57, Sailorjack 1 in Ward 14, Umguza district, and they are free to visit us there. Also, we have got contact number. My contact number is 0777 957 558. 0777 957 558.
My contact details 0778 331 205. I'll repeat that 0778 331 205.
In closing, you did highlight that you also engage many other stakeholders, the police, social welfare, and other government departments. But what sort of assistance would you need? Maybe there are other organizations that have the skills that maybe you need, maybe counselling or other. What sort of needs right now as you have been working that you need assistance with?
We have an MOU that we signed with Umguza. So from those that are working in Umguza, those who can reach out to us, so that when they are having maybe field days out there, when they are holding whatever meetings out there, when they are traveling from here to Umguza, we can partner with them so that we reach out to the community.
Also, it is a good idea to partner with others, since we don't know everything, but we are specializing in girls. But it doesn't mean specializing in girls. When we get a case for a boy child, we are not acting on it. We refer to social welfare, even to National AIDS Council. We are working with them. But there are programs there like Sister to Sister. We can partner with them. They are working in the reserves. Also, they are doing campaigns. As you know, we have got high numbers. Some few months ago, I was reading a certain newspaper whereby in Mat North, they were saying there are 8,000 girls we have been impregnated and they dropped out of school.
Yes.
And we are so fine. We are in need of partnership. And I think if we get donors, our halfway home is going to be a helpful home for those kids, especially in Matabeleland. So partnership, we are really, really in need of it.
I do hope, I think those who are watching can also lend a helping hand to fulfill the vision that you have of assisting vulnerable children, in especially those who are in rural communities. Um, Hopefully next time when we have another conversation, we'll be talking a different story of, more successes. But I think from listening to what you're saying, already there's impact, big impact. There's success stories, and then obviously with more help, with more funding, you'll be able to reach out to more communities.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for taking time to join us, and for sharing this inspirational story that you're sharing in terms of assisting some of the children that they were facing difficult situations. Thank you so much for watching. This is the CITE View on Asake Online. My name is Leslie Moy. Let's meet again in the next edition of the program.